gang? Welcome back to Pyre. Welcome back to Pierce. It's been a while. Like 3 weeks, a while. I don't really have a good reason. The first week, the day I wanted to do this, a thunderstorm happened. So I was like, rain fucks with the internet just in general, I don't know how or why. And if a tree falls on a power line or something, that wouldn't be good. So I just didn't. And every day since then, I was like, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? I was like, nah. I don't know why. But, you know, worked on my game a lot. And also, finished 3 games, which I'd like to talk about, at the end of this, I guess. I've been doing it. I feel like I should go back through my old videos and, like, grab those conversations and condense them all into one video. Be like, shit I played in 2019 or whatever. Now, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that. Sometimes the lazy part of me is just gonna screen cap me watching them on YouTube. Because I don't have the video files anymore. I could download them, of course, and I'd be a little less lazy, but the result would be about the same. So, anyways, maybe I'll just take the audio from it and I'll put like the Steam page up in the background or something. Anyways, let's continue our journey. I think we have 3, 4 more matches till the next rite. There's actually a way I can check that, but I'll have to land first. Fuck you! I don't know if I mentioned last time, but you can harass the other guys just cause. I don't remember who I picked our next opponents to be. Oh, we're going pretty damn far out. Wow. Glade of Lou, we've been there. That's where we fought Manly, coincidentally. Lou, the 100 Mines, 38 scraps for right, known as Wise and or philosopher, said to have fathomed every thought, and his wisdom flows through the river of his name. So there's a river of Lou, I take it? Or a weird statement. Look at that forehead, though. That's a big brain. The level of the river Chlorian, the largest river on the upper side, which cascades down eternally to the downside. Let's see, beyond to distant lands beneath our own, and more suited to your kind. The limbs of Arizek, the root titan vanquished by scribe Luclorian. Arizek yet lives a husk, single foul seed, still rotting where once unknown, Something mighty stood. Is that what's up with the big cherry blossom tree? Is that the Titan? And it does look completely out of place in this forest. And it makes sense considering how the other environments are laid out. The essence. Oh, we're going against the harps. So I should use Pamitha or... Needle Field. Since Headman may gain understanding on the rights, we'll get a bonus. And specs you'll find something of value. We need money. Black Basin. Wagon touches down Black Basin. Black glass, searing vapor, and strangling forests mark and forsaken lands that loom across the sea. The 8 scribes first discovered this, the northern landmass of the downside. Where he first met Wolfred and Pamitha as well. Wow. Briefly wonder at what might have happened had your paths not crossed as you consider what to do with the remains of the afternoon. Sounds like, I was gonna say vacation time, but valuables perks. There's a lot of book to read. I think we have a yonder trial. Magma mug. Ugh. Look at that, it's like a lamp. Diesel? What do you mean not applicable? What's his motive? Though guiltless, he indicates he would commit the foulest crimes against the Commonwealth cuisine. Or in Downsized Night, I had a chance to break Commonwealth law. Makes sense. Biography. There are a lot of imps in the Downside, but few, if any, are like this one. In fact, he seems to be descended from the most famous imp of them all. Tizo is older than he appears, and he drove the Black Wagon and Nightwings for many years, learning much of the rites while traveling with the Triumvirate. But when misfortune fell, he disappeared. He re-emerged years later, having become an integral part of Wolfred's plan, and serve as a liaison between Wolfred and a certain band of exiles whom he entrusted. Okay. I'm not sure why it wanted me to go read Tizo's thing. Yeah, Pamitha is definitely getting used. I think I'm probably just going to use people who have a lot of green on them. So, May, Tizo, Pamitha, sounds like... Let's see who the Beyond trial's for.
Semvare Ligaratus. Contempore stenta. L'aruncato stentare.
Right.
Liberatus.
I noticed I didn't read the narration part this time. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Because there's usually nothing to it. It's always like a transitionary statement. I'm not adding anything by reading it, just slowing things down, really. I will continue to read like lore excerpts and Tizo's thoughts, of course, because they're in like smaller boxes. However, I don't know. In hindsight, this probably wasn't the best thing for me to pick because of that. But, you know, whatever. We gotta deal with it. Anyway, Sir Gilman, he has a trial. Let's do it.
Novarem gubre temptas.
His vale Magaratus.
Rama faroshen.
Gubratiliamatas!
Asem tastes. Malodemos te.
Arius!
I don't know why I even feel bad for not trying to read them. I know a lot of the channels that I watch are like people with theater backgrounds, so they enjoy putting on the voices, but you know, there's a big crowd of people who just want stuff with like no commentary whatsoever in it, so like maybe I could be the midpoint where I only talk over the ungored stuff. They all have very wide auras, so I think the intent was to rely on Gilman dunks for this one. You can jump pretty damn far. You get duped by the wall. Ah, shit. Later, idiots. That was easy. Rushed it. Remember, I haven't played this for like 3 weeks.
Verenza de Marontes. Mon protraje paloge.
His vale Magaratus.
Sir Gilman jumps farther than usual. No, it's actually pretty damn good. I'll take it. Now, we just showed that you can jump pretty far, so 30% farther than pretty far? That's like real far. Then again, this is pretty good too. Oh. Shit. Oh well. I guess I'll keep that Righteous Flame or whatever it's called. It's got a page on the Black Basin, so I'll read that, and maybe another one. Hopefully we'll get through this eventually. Looks like they threw the rest of the lore at us all at once, so we'll weed through it. Black Basin, Molten Millithid, the Wild Witch. The continent we call Black Basin shall one day tear itself apart, arriving upon a blackened, molten crags. However, only by the harp Triesta we pressed onward towards suffocating wood. The land felt to us somehow primordial, deep in its roots and noxious crevices lay innumerable clues as to ancient history. But we had but little time to excavate for our supplies. By then, we were thin. Jeez. Further, we were lost. Our best attempts and circumnavigation had failed. It was Lou Scolarian who reached our at last under the stars as they revealed us the way. Then we at last could see this sacred Mount Oleadel in distance. I wish I knew whether or not I read this. Getting the summon of Oleadel involved no small amount of sacrifice and sorcery in very proportion. The mountain's energies were powerful. The sensation that we felt was indescribable. The lands we stood upon were closer to stars than the world knew. It was upon the highest point, and all the downside, and the efforts to contact his home, which you now read, or his inner-stricken visions. It's so good together first thing. I feel like I did read this. Probably just click a thing and it's still sparkly and there's more. Book of Rites. Much can be said about the Sisters of the Ark. When we vanished to the great beyond for deeds irredeemable. Can you talk about the Beyonder Crystal? Suffice it that the details of their banishment are written in this book. Sisters and the book became inseparable, not unlike the stars. Their light and the infinite darkness that engulfs them. The stars communicate to us, and you in turn. The words within the book are but an edifice, a simple surface. Look past the text to the hidden meaning, to the hidden power. The stars above, as they're not mere lights, they were not mere words. If you chance upon the Sisters of the Ark within their prison here, give them our thanks. Gotcha. The bell's still broken. It is. Anyways, let's move on. Let's get to a real deal. You and Pamitha spend much of the rest of the day searching through razor brambles. If it's in the root, until you at last find something value. You know, maybe I will read some of these when they're not stupid. So it would seem, at least, neither you nor Pamitha can tell exactly what it is. For the object lies beyond your grasp, you consider methods to retrieve it. I mean, we gotta. toiling away there for some time, you last find the object you saw within your grasp, and you and Pamitha take a moment to examine it. The molten glass. Can be sold. Wow, look at that value. Beauty. Find Joe Dorial seeming deep in thought, you consider whether to even bother. Wow, it's your sweet 16? Unbelievable.
Saltavare.
Wouldn't that damage your armor? Huh. Now, in one of these sessions, I mentioned how I'd like to see, like, a normal combat-based JRPG about the scribe's adventure of them taking down the Titans and stuff. But you know, a prequel about these people while they were still in the military would probably work out too. Most of the characters came from military backgrounds, so like Edwin, Pamitha, Gilman, Dorial, it'd all work out. Maybe they even run into Ruki and being a merchant type and all.
Per una lettura.
I just want to see more of the world, guys. It's so cool. And metal.
Tondiamen. Civitercità. Santana Dira.
Huh. I wonder what she carves the armor with. Surely they didn't send her down here with a knife or anything, right? Again, maybe they did. She is wearing her armor. Nah, they probably have knives. You make a knife. Take a rock and attach it to a stick, really. I'm sure they have some kind of technology down the downside. Probably wouldn't even be so bad if it wasn't full of degenerates. Blade of Lure. Look at that, I love him. His eyes aren't focused on anything. And that's intentional, though. Somewhere in the untamed floor of the Black Basin, you run across a messenger imp come to deliver news rumors from the other side. It must have come from one of Wolfgan's agents. The news it bears pertains to Ignarius, whom you met when you first reached the Fall of Solium. He conducted Liberation Rite and his fearsome reputation precede him. It looks like meat. Like green eggs and ham. Some kind of sausage. Anyways. Thus did he prevail against you to secure his freedom. The question still remained as to how a demon such as he could assimilate into polite society did so rather easily by his account. Yeah, that is weird. Demons are only made down in the downside, so when you come back up, they're gonna wonder who the hell you are. Despite initial concerns from the Commonwealth leadership, that one such as he must never be seen in public, he made a convincing case to open a public house with a particular theme. Its clientele believe that his appearance is a sorcerer's trick, and that he agreed to play along for now. Perhaps someday his horn shall recede and he'll take up a new post. So he's running a demon-themed bar, pretty much. You know, it's like a cat-made cafe. As for the Templars, having lost their iron-fisted leader, they scattered to the corners of the downside in search of their suitable successor. You shall not face them again anytime soon. He thanks Messenger for delivering this information and offer it whatever food and drink you have to spare. He gratefully accepts and goes about his business soon enough. And honestly, that's not such a bad thing. People get used to the ideas of demons on the surface. It might just reduce racial tension in general. Just toes. You got one shoe that's not working. What we got here? Burning Promise. After dousing an adversary's fire, the bearer earned the reward just 3 times. So, do we get money after scoring points or after winning? It's definitely easier to accomplish than the banishing one. Scoop of dust. Hand to hand. I thought I traded the scoop for the handful. I was about to flip. Pretty good. what she got? She got the banishing one. Righteous Flame. I thought oh, don't equip for whatever reason. Wow. Takes a lot to even make it go up 1 point. That's not doing that. Is there anything better I can give her though? It's kind of good. I'm gonna put this into speed charm here. 1 more point will make another rank, so I just need to remember that. Alright, let's do this! We're gonna win. We're gonna win our next Liberation Rite. The afternoon is just beginning to give way to nightfall as you and your companions finish making preparations for the coming rite. Throughout the ceremony, you realize Pamitha is nowhere to be found. The last anybody saw of her was shortly after the Black Wagon came arrested to Glade of Blue. Where is she? Returns to you at the beginning of the lane return. She's ready.
Sorry, got me.
Involuntarily read minds? Is that part of why readers are banished? Or did I just do it because I felt like she was holding some back? You know she's about to face her sister, Pamitha, once again. You accept this as the very private matter between them. Well, maybe if we win, we'll learn more about it. Like what happened with Barker. Rookie's a free man. He doesn't even go back. Doesn't know he's ready to go back. So I'll probably set him free.
The stars align.
The fall.
You exiles of the night winds. The 8 scribes summon you to the Glade of Liu. Your adversaries in the coming rite shall be the Essence. Reduce their pyre to a smolder and step closer to freedom. Now prepare yourselves.
Memento. Somebody's been knocking. We're good. Hears is asked to remain silent as her blood sister studies her for a time. Pamitha then reaches for her mask.
Irimaina Dantes. Gavashin.
The two of them say none for a time. You cannot discern what they are thinking. The Highling remnants all seem to be very mentally acute, trained as they are from birth. Enough, Pamitha cut through his attention, her tone light as ever.
Staritas. Jatemeliosta. Netria ventas.
Right, so I'm not setting you free.
Snart ocean.
Who shall strive for freedom?
It doesn't look like their aura's increased in size at all, so it's maybe their speed that went up.
Pamitha.
Triesta.
Pamitha, May,
Nay.
Duriostian.
and Tizo.
Tizo. The choice is cast.
Rikiki, Tizo feels badly for Pamitha, but he will not hesitate to give his utmost in the coming right.
Veronta civiter. Taște moretas. Estare iaros. Moleszemtes.
Now begin. Pamitha banish.
Woo! I didn't mean to switch, I meant to dodge. Woo! Yeah, I'm going.
Your adversary's pyre.
I thought I might be able to put enough distance to throw it. Oh, you bitch. Hey, I won. Hell yeah.
A blow against the adversary's pyre. Let's see you Nightwings keep this up.
Ah, shoot. Oh!
Pathetic.
Oh!
Such is the fury of the Highwing remnants. Your adversary's pyre now burns brighter than your own. The flames of freedom.
Easy.
I wonder, shall the Nightwings press their luck?
Oh, shit.
Careless.
Past that.
Cilia.
Oh!
A mere
I overshot it. Whoa! Heh.
Verily,
Vettare ocean. Vesta desmalum. Grate naroterasta. Makenarum dirge.
Such hatred spewing constantly from Pamitha, yet here in exile, she...
No.
your pyre sputters.
Suck it. Easy.
done with considerable precision. Your flames grow weak.
Easy.
Pamitha has doused the flame. Now go on, just once more.
Ah, shit.
Pamitha caught out.
Oh, shoot. I don't know why I even threw it. That would have been that game point.
Oh? Now plunge into the flames.
So, we won. We crushed it.
The Nightwings prevail yet again.
Luxalis!
Meanwhile, their adversaries wallow in defeat. The ceremony is complete.
San Securestas. San de Varidas. Treo de Ceras. Kirsetere. Tenarum dirge. Kireste hista. Hare tema prolet. Concilia. Merove Kramta.
There is much to learn from this experience. The moon-touched girl has greater understanding than it seems.
Alright. I don't remember anything about what she does. Not sure if she even can be banished while jumping. Also, it happens upon landing. That could be useful. That sounds pretty awesome. I want that. That's OP. I can't even get that anymore, but that's OP. Or I can. Yeah. I'm gonna do that.
The exiled Pamitha perhaps can learn the errors of her kind.
While flying, Pamitha moves faster than usual. Doesn't she already? I'll take it. 5 seconds after banishing. Faster. Banishing's pretty easy with her too, because that shield she makes. Asking her to trigger an aura blast that banishes nearby hole. like that. Yeah, speed is all she needs. Curious as to how this will work. I think this is pretty great. I'll probably get this, and this one just to play it safe. We'll start with this.
The holy power of the eldest matriarch. Until the next rite.
You're overcoming the essence in a convincing manner. The time has come that you search the stars again and remember the next rite. Thank you. Where's the next rite? Where it's at. The Hulk of Auras versus the Witches. I feel like the map gives me a bit of an advantage there. Manly. I feel like he has the advantage here because of all those little bumps on the map. He can like block off entire paths with his little saplings. I feel like I can wreck them anytime. We go up against the witches. See if I can restore my confidence. The Witch of Milda, one of the bog dwellers and head of the throne, trying to remember more interesting legends of Yslaach than national born rights. Her kind was known to be reclusive in the Commonwealth, yet she was brazen in her disdain for common values, practiced the unspeakable. Somehow, one day, her research into flammable reagents grew into an obsession with Lock. I think that Y is probably silent. Sloch. I wonder how people even come up with names with silent letters if like you don't pronounce it. Like, why wouldn't it just be Sloch? Maybe it is Yslaach. Despite widely held belief that he is dead or never did exist, but Milda held that Yslaach is merely dormant, and that he shall someday be reborn with newfound hunger, which could only be sated by devouring the world. Then at last could Yslaach return to his glorious home, and Milda would go with him. When Commonwealth officials showed up to take Milda and spreading unrest, it was all too eager to comply. After all, a sentence to downside would mean that much closer to Spach resting place where she believed she had much work to do. Visual metro wrestle night in kind. It is too late to take flight, so you expect to press onward come daylight. Fight Pamitha's mental conditioning and tell her son troubling her.
Marchevara dardas.
And that's how it be. Called the older sibling complex. And we're all too familiar with here.
Va responsa, Tiare.
Interesting. Nah, I think it's more of a rivalry than we're trying to make up to her. Like, she knows her sister would be pissed if she threw a game ever, so we're good.
Kimrali Beleas. Is this new? I wish to be remembered not for boastfulness, thus I refrained from detailing our exploits across the land, save to say they were numerous. Know that only through our combined strength and arms did we withstand the savage lands, such that were the monstrous dangers that opposed. Came to see all the terrors which I heard at bedside in my youth were based entirely intact. So great that they were that they blotted out the sky. Such was evil that we were vanquished, and the remnants of it shine upon the stars. Under it, it was sort of guided flying on. I probably did read that. I feel like chapters 1 and 2 were both completed by going through the game. We got one just from doing that last thing on the triumvirate. I'll read 2 of these. At first I found it much too difficult to read, much less to write, even to grasp the quill, but then I honored the one more toward me. Or Scoozy. He said that his greatest gift that he could give me in return. In return for what, I asked. In return for his life, he said. If I did not save your life, I said, You did, he said. We fight about this still. Myrrh's stubborn, more than I. Now herein, and by his leave, I chronicle the 9 triumvirs, for I am of this land, unlike the rest who wish to leave. Not everyone could leave who wanted. Seldom would the opportunity arise. Thus did we organize those striving for chance in the 9 sets of 3. Dissidents. I myself, Haub, did form the dissidents under the simplest tenet. Those who do not belong, belong. Other scribes, some of them showed at first reluctance to allow an imp, and one accursed to designate one of the 9 triumvirate, but Myrrh, the honored one, stubborn as he was, stood by my side. In time they came to understand, for I remained as ever at the side, living the proof of their absurdity. The dissidents are an extension of my oddity. Those who do not adhere, they are not to be discarded, underestimated, or dismissed. They are necessary as those against whom they rebel. Essence. I think that's the one we just got. The winged members of the Essence, each chosen by the matriarch, Tristia Thesis, are living examples of liberty and piety. Would that my wings could be thus. Once you, of course, must know we all had wings. It is said that the people of the Empire relinquished theirs, drawn in by earthly matters as they were, but the harps, such as Tristia, held tight the liberty their plumage could afford. These divergent paths did cause a share of differences between the wings and wingless over time, but here in this land our purposes are shared, our goals united. That then is the essence, that is who they are and what and why. Okay. Move on. Oh, we on time. It's probably been an hour, right? Yep, almost exactly. I'm hoping to get to the next Liberation Rite by the end of this. Ideally, I get to a point where I'm able to go through an entire season per session. The Hulk of Auras has drifted here upon the sea for longer than one might expect. Perhaps you have already read of the doomed ship's demise in the embrace of the unfathomed Flornies. There's another one. Scoos. Oh yeah, he's talking. I don't have to read. Alright. I have 3 options. Ragged Rocks, or Gilman believes the conditions here right to train. So Dario thinks this may be more. I can't see that word, guys. That's my box. You guys can't see my box, but you know it's there. Maybe I should reduce the opacity of it a bit. Figure that later, though. Let's get a blessing. Sea of Solace. You touch down the Sea of Solace, where you first encountered Sir Gilman and the Pyre Hearts. You soon shall carry on by sea, though for now you have some time to spare. Sea of Solace. Beyond a shallow, sickly gulf, our voyage grew increasingly forbidding. That's a word. And much harder to explain. How could a sea exist here at the bottom of the world? We cannot deduce whence sprang the carcasses of ancient sailing ships we found throughout the Sea of Solace, though the warnings that they signified were duly noted. It was here that we first met Aura's, called the Under King, who brazenly assaulted our small skiff, for we had trespassed in his waters. And then the Under King relented, for he witnessed Solimer in all his doom and glory. Then he would side with us. Then, with the Under King, we sailed forth into a tempest beyond reasoning or measure. Gotcha. Beyond the crystal seeks me.
Are cognitaras. Nemraj liberatus. Taracus da dissertis. Caricumta nascis.
Well, what's the point of that conversation? Jeez.
Uron salashe. Igraje saretometas.
Lorigasenta.
Ramas emptis.
Tereso.
Ventio me prancis.
Audirias me?
Imps. Whoa. It passed me to bolt to stop me casting. That's an advanced strat.
Gracias.
Hey. Don't even need to worry about it because it's a one-man thing, but whatever.
Maroli.
Mayonnaise. Damn, they like predicted that I was gonna do the same thing I did the first 2 times. Like their AIs or something. I wonder if they are. It'd be interesting to see that there's like each triumvirate is an AI with like set behavior, but as you play the game they learn. And like they get wiped every time you make a new profile or whatever.
Luxalas. Cogitia.
Macenta menus caraje. Tere paloje.
Sinan matucem? Tereso.
That's a beautiful amulet, look at that. After Maycaster Aura, it can bounce off of objects and solid surfaces. Holy crap. It sounds incredibly useful, but I'm not sure I'd sacrifice the speed. If I may, gazing into the depths.
Magania fili fasi.
There's no denying that the north current sends you quickly on your way. Perhaps it is the thought of reaching land again, but you sense a spring in everybody's step. Plus 2 quickness. Hell yeah. May seems to be talking to Black Wagon's walls again, though this time something seems to have came over her.
Gratis lagaram.
You're unsure whether to check in with her or leave her be. Let's listen. Since now it's not time to interrupt, and then May is on the verge of confronting some ongoing emotions which she ought to face. Moon touched. Those deemed impaired by the Commonwealth standards or very different in a negative sense. So people think that she's like autistic and or weird. Let's go with weird as to not offend anyone. Fall silence, though you were concerned for first since now she is at peace.
wanders off, paying you no notice in the least, since you have a better understanding of her. Right. We're gonna keep on studying. Almost maxed our reader influence. Curious how the glory one's gonna work. If it's just straight up one more point, or if it's gonna add a few more points. I guess even if I add 2 more points, that'll add up to like 1 extra turn I don't have to take during a match, so it's still kind of worth it. Anyways, we're gonna fight the witches. Those bitches. Just yanked my controller a bit. I forgot it was plugged in. Not good. Your route to Hokamura is by comes to Sun Hall. Ah, shizzle, do I have to plug it back in? Oh. I'm sorry, I was spamming the button because nothing was happening. It doesn't work now.
Baresta Legaramis.
Well, that's just rude. Spiral Sanctum. The burned down remains of the old capital of the Commonwealth. The remains stand as a warning to those who would seek to spread forbidden knowledge.
Kirsetare?
The Saint? Saint Tristis, the scribes book of rites, also known as Disciplined or Blessed Born. The eldest of the heart matriarch, she has anointed the book of rites and gave its words their power.
Nela Saratakuste.
Naga Braven.
Kirjan Italias.
You know, sometimes it's best even though, as long as they didn't make it worse, don't notice the effort. Hokamura's Freedom Pact.
No, eu gasto em fãs.
Oh, steroids.
Não chamo de trás.
I guess they figured by now we've probably found a talisman that we don't want to switch out for everybody. They're like steroids. I'm so mixed on this one. It sounds incredibly useful.
Motion talk to me.
Yeah, I guess I'll equip it. I guess. Only 4 quickness.
Mirza Vistalium.
Regaratus.
Zuvande stale?
Io caro. Bocara umen.
Temperstonete?
Sim.
Murikasenta. Fuma. Moshirikantas?
Tantanare templa.
Momi talarantas.
Yippee. Other things here. Additional exiles required 1. Still don't know how many till next liberation. How do we have a 22% chance without sending anyone over yet? Maybe Ignarius raised their chance somehow, even if it's not part of the plan. What was I doing? 2 things. 2 pages to read. The Freedom Pact. We rid the land of impending doom, but face another of its kind, for we knew that we were trapped. Yet for each danger which we faced, for every failed ambush by the Ark, met with gentle souls and kindred spirits in the downside, who deserved more than to fade from memory within this land. It was then the stars themselves showed us the way, delineating a great voyage across the sea. Near broken we became, but then, at last, the moonlit vision, that of the rites, thus shall they say to us, the 8 scribes gave their freedom so that we may yet have ours. The other one was about the Hulk, so it should be here. Hulk of Auras. The Dazerban was the first of many river ships to vanish in the downside, although presumptions of its loss were not inaccurate. The doomed ship and her valiant crew had charted half the Sea of Solace ere the end of the brave voyage. The sea titan Unfathomed Lurnes was not fond of vessels sullying her sea, and split the doomed ship single swipe. The ship's own scattered prow would flatter than the sea titan's cool reign, as the boastful Under King count.
stars themselves must have been moved by this. The point that within the sea, now scared, now sacred, as the stars declining in homage every now and again. United. Though the now familiar surroundings of Organ Orders made preparations faster than before, the stars are all... I pressed the button, guys.
Merum.
You wish them all good fortune in turn. One also said, and together you watch the celestial harmony and common sense, and await no wrong. Oh yeah, Titan stars. I think I mentioned those last time. I guess this is when we get to use them. So the major stars are scribes, and like constellations and minor ones are titans. Magneto. Also monsters that once roamed the downside, the scribes together slew them one by one, and through this forged their bonds.
Behold, the Titan stars.
I'm not sure what the reward for actually using them is. Stars to the right, your Pyre shall automatically suffer damage. Oh, you get more experience. I'm already kind of scared of this team, so I'm not taking that one. Return sooner. I know return kind of slow to begin with, so I don't think it's a big deal. Increase the difficulty? Yeah, I think I'll go with this one.
Limbless Erzak. The Titan stars. Burning remnants of monstrosities felled by the scribes themselves. Dare you to stand against them in their fury? Dark is the knowledge that you seek there, reader. Best focus on your adversaries, keen as they are to confront you once again. Put out their fire first, and show them the glory of the Night Wings. Now then, make ready for the rite!
I definitely want someone who can fly.
Now we shall get started.
Looks like they have two imps on their side this time, and that probably makes it a little easier, actually. I'll put in Pamitha again. You know, she crushed it last time. And Edward's got an amount to cash in.
Headwind.
Got it.
Wish I could see Joe Dariel's thing. Kinda can for a split second here. I don't think I want Joe Dariel in this one. With like, not, you know what? Yeah, Gilman works.
Sir Gilman. Now. Begin. That one almost got through. A favorable start.
So it doesn't restore mine over its maximum health. That's good to know.
Someone there rose to the occasion.
What? You want mine?
All three Nightwings. Poof. Simply threw it in. The Nightwing's adversaries gained an edge. Oh.
New boy.
Udmilda plunges into flame.
Oh my god. Get Gilman back in here.
Alas for Gilman.
Unfortunate for the withdrawal.
What? I didn't pass that. Did not.
Poor Edwin.
Oh, you bitch. Ah.
Why, that was all of them. Yes. Brilliantly done. Simply monstrous.
Oh, that was monstrous.
Banished.
Look
One
at that.
and all. In goes the orb. Ferocity unbridled.
Oh, shit. Ah, shit.
Your pyre weakens.
No, they're winning.
Banishment for all.
When will they learn?
Pamitha's aim was true. Out with you all. Resplendent.
Alright, we got this. Oh, the bog crone doesn't dive it. Ah, shit. I need to pick up the ball. Oh! Butthole is clenched. This is about as close as the last match I had with them.
Ghost within the aura.
Oh, you!
Oh. Oh, there.
No!
And it is done.
Ah,
The withdrawn prevail.
I made some bad decisions.
Ere their pyre sputtered out. Thus end this night's proceedings.
Right, well,
Do tend to teach something of trust.
whenever we actually start electing our final opponents, we're probably going to fight them. Because they have a good record against us. I think that the second time we get to the mountain, though, it's going to be another team. Honestly, I felt like this man had no stamina, so I kind of want that. So just increasing his quickness might do the job too. Plus he has that. You know, I'll stick with that. That might have been exactly what I need to win that if I had it.
If only wings could speed us on toward greater understanding. Until the stars align.
Back at the wagon after falling to a drawn and a narrow loss, just like last time. Wanted to get my freaking bride back and I didn't. You're about to join the others discussing the outcome when Volfred finds you. Yeah, we all would like to win, Volfred. You don't need to be condescending. Also, look at these ears. I wonder if his brain is like a bird. Pecking away in there. Or is this perhaps like a wood version of a gauge? I don't like it, guys. Ears are already kind of weird, but just like having some that you can, like tear off in any second is horrifying. Oh, well, you know what? It was the Titan Star that ruined me. I feel less bad. I just shouldn't have had the Titan Star on. Time for Liberation Rite. I thought it would be. It is. We're actually fighting them, wow. Alright, instant rematch. We'll see how this goes without a freaking Titan Star, you bastards.
Baroshta.
Right. Plans to set free Rookie because we got rid of his baggage. He's the only one who's really ready to leave.
Below the Ashemta.
Ramiga.
The Connie. Look at her, she's a cutie. Oh, that would explain the eye tattoo. Her sister has one of those. Connie Sheng. I thought she looked Asian, but I thought I would be racist for saying so.
Pyre? Maybe if he went back to the surface, he could help improve relations between the Commonwealth and Harps. Or, you know, they just call her a whore and stone her alive or something, you know. That's probably what's gonna happen. Continue photographer sometime about Bikini. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce this. Connie. Perhaps it's Bike Annie. Syllables are supposed to end like at the next vowel. So Bike Annie. That's what I get. Well, at the next vowel followed by consonant, I think. So, com, then mon. And wealth. Yeah, that rule holds. Okay, I'm not stupid. Nobody cared. Nobody did. Gratis Lagerab.
Soli Shemta.
This conversation winds down. Did you and each other several and go several ways? Wow. So, like, what is kids hatch from an egg or what? The Glade of Lure. Never have I witnessed an affront to nature
Mine and everyone's quite like the poison woods of Limos, Arizex, the Rutines, and this suffocating influence. Oh, so the whole forest is his corpse. I shall leave it to the boastful Underking to tell you more of Arzek's vanquishing, whilst I may tell you something of the glade that he protected, which became my own, for my own genealogy now occupies the soil there, and strives to furthermore prevent Arzek from taking root again. Huh. The woodman planted himself there to fight the Titan spread. I don't get it. Maybe that's what the big tree is. I saw like wrappings on one of it, and it's got like thin limbs. Maybe the big tree is a person. I don't know what I was doing with my hand. Rambles of the glade are constantly encroaching on themselves, then falling once again to dust. The miraculous cycle reflected in the starlight piercing through the canopy needs witnessed whenever the stars invite anybody. Hold on. Probably an entry on the people we just fought, right? Emperors. Brr. The honored one formed the tempers upon his own ideals. Ingrained in the triumvirate are basic truths about the dual rules of strength and gentleness. The honored one he had a dualistic nature for as long as he and I considered the friend of stories I am told about Mercy, scribe, no one I know. All of us capable of more. I was once an imp that could not write, or once a man that could not think. Emperors were ordinary folk. Now they rise to greatness, always striving, never overreaching. They are not like Mer himself, rather they are what Mer wished he to be. Huh. To the mountain. For freedom. Since May, you gain favor from scribes. Since Pamitha will gain favor. I don't think I want to use Pamitha in the next one. Or actually, I do. Jeez. It's a big million. Against this team specifically, I'm not taking any chances. We're turning off that Titan Star, we're putting in Pamitha, putting in Ruki, and probably someone else with a big aura, so like Jodariel. You make landing on Sacred Mount Oledel upon whose summit in the next Liberation Rite shall soon take place. You wonder who among you may regain his or freedom this time.
Marendare Varkos.
Something I remembered after the first Liberation Rite, and I don't remember what it is anymore. Maybe it'll click once we get to that part again.
find Pamitha by herself again.
Pamitha.
I mean, I want to know more about her, but something tells me she'll know that I'm in bed still.
Cogram obrigadas. Godna vistaten. Ten persona te? Tevi starum tās. Pelom da dames. Uše masatas.
Infrantes. Terexilia shiumta. Obligatamoje. Caricumta, nastis.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Espeta narum tanoje. Miharen talojetim.
Marifista legaramis.
Got this. Should be easy mode.
Mon protraje paloje.
Lubre gamias.
Savenza la mia mità.
Mero gontonage.
walked right into that. What? Easy. And that's why she's going in the next match.
Crediosam vero scettimo. Mon protraje paloje.
Mestria ventas.
Tristia's plume. While flying after dousing the adversary's pyre, if they may instantly return and deals +3. Huh? So, when you dunk a pyre by flying, you deal additional damage and don't get banished? That's what I'm getting out of it. It sounds great. We, the 8, assembled here together in Downside, and we gave our freedom so that we yet have yours. In exchange, we have not lightly made. It is my chance to ensure that you, should you regain your freedom, first off, recognize its qualities and also use it wisely. You do not need a pair of wings in order to be free. My own wings. I once thought that they could take me anywhere. If they took me here, where I am bound, it is your charge to be free, and not to make the same mistakes. Spring from here and learn from what we did, and build a new and great society, a free society with wings spread wide for everyone. Well, that's not what the Commonwealth is it? Let's up our glory. Righteous. Alright, let's keep it moving. Temple High Road, headwind gain favor, Tizo. Put in Tizo, why not? We had headwind in the last match, right? It didn't work out for us. I was thinking about maybe May, but Tizo. Wait, for someone you pass the monument to under King Auras and Tizo happens to take notice. You wish for good fortune to come right in your plan as Tizo. Hello again, old friend. I hope the stars are comforting to you. These night wings are... Yeah, I can't do that. These night wings are as strong in spirit as I've seen. Please look after them. Says a little after paying his respects.
However, as you prepare to continue your ascent, you set the Thunder King Horn to go in your favor. Wow. There was something about this gate specifically. Maybe the woman, maybe Tark. I don't remember what it is, I forgot though. It probably has something to do with the somewhat insensitive comment I made.
Faccia veras.
Took off his hat.
Escutin luxalas.
Counterpart? There's a choice of words, sir. There has to be some significance between it. There's gotta be. Maybe it's he's white and silver and she's white and gold. That could explain why his outfit's so white. It's really bugging me that I don't remember what it was.
The sun and vere.
Ransagelostium.
Oh, I see it now. Sun and Moon. They're Pokemon characters.
Seritam peluche.
Torgasem gratas.
Salutium, Ceres.
Again, you gain the top of Mount OcelotDolphinCrab, which downside scrolls for you. Wonder whether one among them shall prevail tonight in this place, unlike with Headwind last time. Yeah, Headwind wasn't ready to go.
Mo, que se foge.
This. After a bear banishes an adversary by aura casting, or a burst may occur. 20% chance. No, we good. We're keeping what we got. We're gonna read the thing on the Fall of Solium. From top of Mount OcelotDolphinCrab, the downside be seen in entirety felt. And so much of the land is shrouded, but that is hardly all. Though a wondrous miracle lies upon the highest mountain, an inverted fall whose waters crash not towards the sea, but rush towards the heavens. We speculate that these very waters which delivered us, but now bend backwards, seeking their return, as do we all. It is this phenomenon, and freedom can be achieved, but only for the chosen when the time is right. This is a path to freedom we cannot traverse, but shall leave open for you, so that you may strive for it. Wow, so it's like one big river, except it comes to an upward waterfall.
Aș se pravdes. Nesenta kera fasien.
Liberatus tamta.
Samfi demistas.
Alright, we turning that off. What's this one? Star of the right adversary's Pyre, gain more. That's like having less. Freedom's online. Ain't messing around. We're doing this. Are we gonna win? We almost won. Now we can.
The Nightwings have returned unto the fall of Solium, at which the scribes first formed their separate union. At stake this night is freedom and prosperity. But only for one exile who prevails in this Liberation Rite. Your many adversaries all did strive to earn this opportunity. 'Twas the withdrawn which earned it. Who shall be absolved is up to all of you.
Oh, the world's in some actual danger if we let them out. Those stakes are even higher now.
Volunta lorigas.
Regeta Noxalas.
Senda sabotero.
Vaprastrum.
Loriga senda mister. Sabexitera Israk.
Ultarictus Tara.
Liberatus tamta.
Noxalas.
Hold on.
Would you set free?
Nice. I'm gonna look at their team. I saw an effect pop up. What is that? Star of the right adversary's Pyre automatically suffers damage? Are you kidding me? Unworthy. I feel like Jodario has more shit to work through, but she's also becoming less prejudiced. He needs to get back to his woman.
Izo doesn't need to leave, but I feel like he needs serves to see more of the world. I think I sent him home in my last playthrough. I think the plan was to put Jodariel in anyways, so I guess I'll just put her in. Why not?
Jodariel,
Chi sare volum?
who shall lend her support? Pamitha. Tizo. It is done. Commence!
What? Ah, shizzle. Izo get it. Ah. Just looking forward to finding out where Trinket did. Oh shit, she vanished her. Ah! I swear to God, we're going to lose this. Should've just passed it. Oh my god. Come on, Pamitha MVP this game. I guess her trinket only works once. Oh, see that boost I got from that? Damn.
There it is, at last. Have proved their worth. It could have been you, Nightwings, but alas. Thus ends the Liberation Rite. And thus, the scribes have chosen. The exile appointed by the withdrawn shall be freed. Absolved of all misdeeds, return to glory in the Commonwealth. Her adversary and all others shall remain to carry out their rightful sentences.
I want to win at least one of these, jeez. I'm not totally opposed to seeing the bad ending, because I have no idea what it is, but want to win one of these. Right, so now we have some kind of terrorist cult on the surface. I imagine that'll decrease our chances of success.
Godspeed, Ulmilda. The 8 scribes are ever merciful. By their grace, the cycle of the rites may soon commence again.
Stoltérate.
I think I just want to max out this.
The 8 scribes gave their freedom so that we may yet have ours.
Well, look on the bright side. The team that I did the worst against is no longer in play. Hey, all of our games with them were close. Don't be that way. What is this? Soil shell? Sparkling thing in its center is in fact its heart, which it airs out from time to time. Looks like a clam. How's the probability of success went up? Well, look, I can do okay against these guys. I can probably beat the shit out of these dudes. I don't think I've ever fought them again, but they're like a normal team. Not so keen on Manly. I dunked on them last time, but I'm also kind of iffy about them. And oh, this is the normal teams. Who the hell are these? Another one? I don't know.
gonna win the next one, I swear it. You know, we were all like an all freshman team last time. Now we're like now we're juniors. We're getting there. By a fourth one, we should be winning that one too. And if I haven't won by then, I'm gonna be very sad. On Mercy. Mercy is the beating heart of a truly free society. Mercy even for perpetrators of the darkest deeds. As our leech slowly emerged, drifted into the ocean of regret, he found there mercy, or rather it found him. It saved his life. Mercy, freedom, they are intertwined. Society which raises on a clenched fist against its own shall follow the doomed path of the Empire Sahar. Ours shall be a merciful society. May the preparations of the darkest deeds be sent to join us here. Perpetrators, where they may learn as we have. Mercy shall engender union on all our different kind. Just stand shoulder to shoulder equal in the same society. Thought Ricky was trying to get your attention, but soon realized his attention is fixated on somebody else.
What about Spinodo?
Huh?
Huh. Yeah, that's a great question.
Solisce de maritavos.
Oh, it's like a Spartan thing. Epic. That's helmet hair if I've ever seen it. I think Ruki's definitely into that. Go back to wait for another cycle. So if this one took like 5 matches, the next one should take 5 at most. Probably 4 though.
Soldateimas. Maderumsat.
There, from atop the Sacred Mountain, you gaze into the abyss that is the downside. You wonder when the stars shall align themselves once more. There, upon the sacred mountain, you and your companions once more await the night stars to begin to shine again. The plan of which you are all part of is set in motion. The Commonwealth, a nation that stood almost for 1,000 years, is in turmoil. If your companions return there through the Liberation Rite, what sort of place shall they be coming back to? Many moons pass. One evening, amid a downpour with no interest whatsoever in relenting, Wilfred requests everybody to convene. You understand he has an announcement of some sort. Soon everyone's assembled and Wilfred regards the group.
Simodaret. Nocere travios. Castello rigassetas. Cogres vitergemol. Harodes de Carm. Predontesiare.
Alright, Bertrude's joining us. I remember she's pretty dank. You just saw how we got wrecked by 3 of them.
Arades Taros. Sagrave Manset. Ligarestas.
Now let's go over here. It's very similar to the map we originally fought them on. Deluge, a worm knight of the Sea Dominion and former ally of Sir Gilman. He lacks the sort of courage of which his kind is known, yet somehow leads fire hearts anyways. Some worms born under Sea Dominion's waters saw life meaning on dry land. The Commonwealth recognized their chivalrous traditions and put them to use. Sir Deluge was just another bit of frontline fodder in the war against the Highland remnants. Yet time and again he distinguished himself for one simple reason: he would not die. His unusual instinct for self-preservation kept him safe in many battles, and over time he was repeatedly promoted for lack of any real competition. Then in battle, the spiral sank them when retreat certainly was not an option. Their deluge retreated anyways. This was a breaking point, and he was at last sentenced into exile. It sounds like he just retreated and somehow kept getting promotions. A false idol. In the downside, he sought water, where he made contact with Sir Gilman and other members of his kind. They all saluted him as their superior. The Air Knights had little choice but to respect his rank. As pirates, they conducted the rites to name the great hero the Under King orders, while adhering to their strict code. Say goodnight to Sir Gilman in turn, there's no time to make flight preparations now. Press on once again. Here, Bertrude's decks. Unusual etched cards depicting greater titans, probably for curses and enchantments. You find Big Bertrude looking about the black wagon in a disapproving way. She fixes her gaze on you. Her expression does not change. But maybe she only respects Sandalwood because he's a reader. She's jealous of that knowledge.
Dasta. Panzaveras.
You might be thinking, why would they go out in the middle of a storm? But that's when worms like to come out, when the soil's all moist. I guess you could say they're taking baths, even though their whole existence is in dirt. I don't know why it is. Get another book entry. The Rites of Flame. These blackened nails, do I hereby inscribe the Rites of Flame? The bylaws shall be written here in full. We, the Eight, decree the rights, a test of one's true worth, body, mind, and spirit. Now, until the stars abandon us, this shall be binding law within the downside. Those deemed worthy of the rights are to regain their freedom from the downside and return from whence they came. Exile shall conduct the rites as one of the 9 triumvirates and look towards the stars for guidance on their path. Exile shall bear the book as a status. Right, I'd like to wrap this up. but not quite yet. As I mentioned at the beginning, I have 3 games I finished I'd like to hear the thoughts on, so I'll put on some, no, not even tunes. I like the sound of rain. It's relaxing. Keep it this way. I think I actually forgot to switch the camera up to my big ugly face last time. So I'll probably do that. Doesn't even look great because the lighting in my room's terrible, so it creates this fuzzy effect with the camera. I noticed that. Oh well. Oh no. Anyways, my dudes, first game, you know what, in order that I finished them backwards, because what's fresh in my mind is what's fresh in my mind. So I literally finished yesterday, The Friends of Ringo Ishikawa. Bought it for like $5 or so on the Switch. It was on sale, so played that. It's kind of a beat 'em up, kind of a school life sim, kind of a visual novel, kind of an idle game. It's got a lot going on, and that's kind of the point. So after the initial intro, which makes it out to be, you know, a brawler like Double Dragon or Streets of Rage or whatever, something like that, you know. You go into the actual game, and it's very aimless. You have no idea what's even going on. You don't even know how to get to school, but you're supposed to go there. And yeah, you just figure out everything day by day, because the game tells you absolutely nothing. And you just find stuff to do. And that could mean, you know, fighting guys to get money and raise your stats, because you can level up and learn new moves at trainers. You can engage in a hobby, which will give you more stuff to talk about with the people around the town, and your main gang members, of course. And you can engage in gang warfare if you beat up enough of a particular color faction, because that's how band gangs work. Everyone's in their school uniform because you have to represent the high school, because it's like a status symbol over there, so, you know, everyone's in their colored uniform. That leads to gang mentality. Right, so there's a lot of crap to do. It all feels very aimless. And it doesn't go on for crazy long. I think it's 40 in-game days. It's supposed to be like the last fall of your high school semester or whatever. So like you're about to graduate and go into the world. And, you know, that part of plays into why it all feels so aimless, along with other elements of the story, which I'm trying really hard to not spoil, because I don't think the game would hold nearly as much value without the story. Needless to say, the beat-em-up aspect of it was fun. The idle game stuff is, whatever. I just, like, start reading a book, and then I'd go pet my cats or something. But I don't know, it was enjoyable enough for me to keep going for the duration of it, and by the end, it felt like it all just hit me like a fucking brick. And yeah, there was some real emotional impact to it all. So, story was good, but not sure I would necessarily recommend the game. But, you know, for the price I paid, absolutely worth it. So, game number 2 was... Oh, wait, I forgot to mention, the music is freaking amazing. That made it so much more bearable with all the idle stuff. It's got, like, this, sort of lo-fi, vaporwave, hip-hop thing going on. It's great. put it on in the background whenever. Anyways, game number 2, Doom Eternal. I shouldn't really have to say much about this, it's fun, guys. Compared to 2016, it's shorter and a lot more focused. It feels a lot more like a video game than something that's trying to immerse you and tell a story or whatever. In that sense, it's definitely a lot less repetitive. It feels, structure-wise, a lot more like the original 2 or 3 Doom games. Assuming that Ultimate Doom is Doom 3 and not Doom 3. So yeah, I don't want to brush under how great this game is, but I do have some complaints, and I guess that's, like, the more interesting part of the conversation for me, so, like, I'm gonna go bitch about it for a little bit. First off, every ammo type has a second gun that uses that ammo type, so while they reduce the amount of ammo each gun can hold so that you wouldn't be relying on one gun all the time anymore, well, now when you use any gun, you're weeding out another gun. So, like, you use your shotgun, you can't use your super shotgun anymore. You use your machine gun, you can't use the chain gun. It's kind of poopy. Some of them don't even make sense. Like, why would a chain gun use the same bullets as a machine gun other than the fact that it's metal? Basically, what I found is you're only going to pick one of them per ammo type that you prefer. Like, the chain gun is infinitely better than the basic machine gun, and the only reason you'd ever use the basic machine gun is because of the weapon mods, which, had the machine gun just had 4 weapon mods instead of 2, the whole issue could have been avoided. Maybe there could have been a mod that turned it into a chain gun. Right? Yeah, maybe. Again, some of the enemies confused me in their design. Like, they're I think it's called a Mancubus. It's like a fat boy with 2 guns for arms. There's an upgrade version of them. I call him the Super Fat Boy, and to break his armor, you're supposed to go in for a punch. However, when you get close to him, he, like, shits all over the ground, so, like, it makes it hard to get close to him. But if you stay far away, he's gonna blast the fuck out of you with his super guns. So, like, you have to get rid of him right away, but it doesn't want you to stay close to him either, so I don't know what to do with him. See, the Doom Hunter, they don't tell you the most effective strategy to beat him. Like, it seems like he has a shield, and you can't damage him until his shield's gone, theoretically. However, if you attack his sled, which doesn't have a shield, he takes damage still, and even when you destroy his shield, all that takes damage is the sled, so I don't understand the point of the shield. He just has 2 health bars, essentially. And there's, of course, the Marauder, which everyone hates. Like, again, it's another thing where the tips don't really tell you how to effectively fight him. Essentially, you're supposed to stay at mid-range, wait for him to attack, and then counter him with some heavy damage of your own. And the thing is, there is no mid-range. You basically want to stay close to him because he's gonna attack you no matter where you are, and it's not always going to be a counterable attack. What I really hate about him specifically is that he completely changes the way that you've been playing the game the entire time. Like, you're not running away because he's going to beat the shit out of you if you do go far away. And you're not trying to take him out right away because it takes time to take him out. And what it wants you to do is basically watch him and wait for your chance to counterattack. However, you're getting swarmed by other enemies that are infinitely spawning until the big guys are destroyed. So, basically, there's no easy way to not take damage while fighting this fucker, and it sucks. But, I did find that even though he was supposed to block all your attacks before he's attacking, if you use, like, the heat-seeking missile launcher upgrade, you can, like, dash around and get to seek him from the side, which his shield doesn't block. You can pretty quickly take him out with the, like, 2 or 3 barrages if you get him to hit him in the side. Yeah, so I don't like that enemy. He feels like he belongs in a different game. You die very quickly. This game is a fuck ton harder than 2016. However, they did add, like, extra lives and, a more detailed progression system in terms of getting more health and armor and whatnot. Another thing about health and armor, I don't understand the purpose of armor. It's just health. Like, it is. It serves the same function. It doesn't reduce the damage you take. It's just another health bar. However, it's easier to get in that all you have to do is set guys on fire rather than actually kill them. So it's weird. See, there's a lot of secrets in the levels. They're marked on your map, so it's good to get to them. Because the levels are more gamey feeling, it's a lot easier, or you'll have to do some convoluted challenges to get to them, rather than the feeling of exploring the space station, like in 2016. I remember in the second level you can find the plasma rifle early if you go through some vents. That was cool. It felt a little more satisfying to get those kind of secrets to me. There's a hub world, you love to see it. Yeah. Good game, weird design decisions, but still good. I'm going to say it's objectively better than 2016, but I definitely found it a lot more difficult, and therefore I enjoyed it a bit less. Yeah. It gets very complicated sometimes, especially towards the later half of the game, where they start throwing all the big enemies you've ever met, and they were, like, previously bosses. You'll fight, like, 5 of them in one encounter. Your brain will start to hurt during combat, which is not quite what I wanted. Anyways, that's that. Game number 3 is Elex, a game nobody cares about. Except for the very few who absolutely do care. So for those of you who don't know, the developer Piranha Bytes is famous for making a series of incredibly mediocre RPGs called Gothic and Risen. And some people are going to be pissed I said they're mediocre, but the thing is, they are. But it's also a type of game that's not made very often. The third-person open-world action RPG. There's the Gothic series, there's the Risen series, there's Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, which failed after its first game, of course. And there's The Witcher, which Kingdoms of Amalur and The Witcher are both objectively very good. Gothic and Risen have a lot of flaws. Them's just the breaks, guys. So Risen is... not Risen, Elex is no different. It tries to go for, like, a post-apocalyptic kind of deal. So, basically, imagine Fallout if it was made by a non-American company. As in, guns aren't power, there's no American exceptionalism everywhere, it's more, German medieval-focused. There's 3 factions, as per usual. berserkers who deny technology and try to restore the land to its former health. They also wield magic, which is pretty cool. Outlaws who are drug addicts, they have a Witcher-type playstyle. Clerics, which are idiots. The religious fanatics that use technology, however, I'll talk about that when I go into the story a little bit. And there's the elves, which are the bad guys. They're basically clerics, but they're bad guys. Combat-wise, they tried to go for more of a Dark Souls thing with like a stamina bar management. I don't think it feels nearly as good as the Risen 1 did. I haven't played Risen 2 or 3 because I heard they were terrible, but I liked Risen, even if the quests were really boring. Yeah, I don't think the combat feels as good. The leveling system is absolutely stupid. When you level up, you get stat points, and they do nothing, even though the descriptions imply that they would. Like strength, that's probably going to increase your melee damage, right? No, it just enables you to wield weapons that do more damage, and buy skills that will increase your melee damage. However, it does nothing on its own. So when I first leveled up and I dumped all my points in Constitution, I was like, why the hell didn't my health go up? About 15 hours in, I installed a rebalance mod, which fixed some of the later game issues with guns being way overpowered and melee being underpowered, so it made the game playable. However, that didn't make it easy, because it's still pretty unbalanced. Basically, what's going to happen is you're going to go into the first town, and you're going to stay there for like the first 10 hours of the game, talking to NPCs, running back and forth, until you're finally strong enough to kill something. And that something is going to be the weakest enemy in the game. And there's not going to be a lot of them, but you'll be able to go get some quests done further away from the town. And then, in another 20 hours or so, you'll be able to fight all but the hardest things. And then you'll never be able to fight the hardest things, but we'll talk about that later. Let's talk about the story a bit. Your character is intentionally a brick because he was like a former drug addict that like stripped him of his emotions. But now he's not on drugs. So yeah, he's just a brick. And the morality system is based on like how in touch with your emotions you are, so you can make him sound even more or less brick-like. However, something about the Gothic games and Risen as well, I find it difficult to be anything but a scumbag who's like an opportunist, always looking out for himself. So I always end up taking a neutral stance. I mean, Gothic 1, it made sense because you were in prison, but like even after that, I feel like you're always a fucking scumbag for no reason. My guy stayed a brick for the whole game. Basically, it's just a revenge story. That's all there is to it. There's some stuff that... The interesting stuff happens in the later chapters of the game. However, you won't get there for about 40 hours. Because all the faction bases are scattered across the entire map, you're gonna basically play the whole game before you learn anything about the main story. Unless you decide to join the first faction right away, which I wouldn't blame you if you did. They're pretty cool. Except I think it's stupid that they denounce technology entirely. I also think in the context of the story, they're like the canonical one that you would have picked. So, yeah, you learn some cool stuff about what happened before the meteor hit, which irradiated everything, created mutants and whatnot. Some shit going on with aliens. Yeah, stuff happens. It's a bit weird that this planet's kind of Earth, but it's also not. So there's like some things that are obviously fantasy creatures, but there's like mutants, but what were they before? I don't know.
Well, it's not Earth, so they're probably an actual troll. See, initially I thought I was going to join the clerics because energy weapons are cool, but when I got there, they started talking about going to the Infinite Skies, and I was like, bro, I find flyers for the Infinite Skies Corporation all over the place. You guys actually believe this crap? And it goes into the main story with what about their god Kalan is and stuff. And, yeah, basically they're idiots. Like, I'm already a pretty anti-religious person, but, like, these guys are actually idiots. The evidence is just out in the open, and nobody cares. Also, they look stupid. All of them, basically, until their highest tier of armor, you look like Superman in just, like, a skin-tight jumpsuit that's, like, gamer black and gamer red. So I ended up joining the Outlaws, you know, the Witcher drug addicts. They were pretty cool. I thought that the acting in their area was probably the best because they didn't have to act that much. They're a bunch of drug addicts and scumbags, like it's easy to do that role. Otherwise, the voice acting is pretty bad throughout the game. Excluding the character who's supposed to be a brick, so he gets an excuse. See, there are a lot of companions you can do. All of them have a side quest that you have to start from to even join you. And then there's one of them in particular who is very relevant to the story, which I didn't like because she seems optional until you need her. And before I even moved on to what I thought was going to be the end of the game, I actually just started the story at the end of Act 1. I wasn't able to finish her companion quest because it was locked into the story and it didn't tell me. I was a little annoyed by that. So in the original game, ranged weapons were super powerful, and even with the rebalance, they still are pretty powerful, but they're also not super in-depth to use, so I pretty much stuck to melee anyways, and basically melee sucks ass until you get an enchantment on your weapon. Any kind of damage over time effect is OP, and that's why that certain important companion I was just talking about is one of the best ones, because her weapon has an effect on it. She's also a mage, so her ranged attacks do stuff. The only other companion worthwhile is the other romanceable female, who also has an effect on her weapon, of course. And her dialogue is amazing, because she is a fucking psychopath. The companion AI is really stupid. They get in your way all the time. And, like, if you just run into them, they don't have the courtesy to back out. They just block you. Or you're trying to pick stuff up and you'll start a conversation with them by accident, which is annoying. And even though this character was a mage, she's going to use her sword if you're using your sword. She's only going to use her ranged weapon if you start the combat with ranged. It's dumb. You should always use her spells until she's out of mana or whatever. She doesn't actually have mana, so the thing is to trick her into using spells and run away. Yeah, it's pretty impossible to get through any of these games without cheesing them a little. Yeah, so the game's a broken mess. It's very pretty, I'll give it that. It looks something that came out in, like, the late end of the PS3, early PS4, maybe. But it plays mediocre at best. It's extremely unbalanced. Dialogue's bad. Story gets interesting, but it takes a very long time to get there. I hated all the factions, pretty much. And yeah, it took me like 60 hours, or maybe 70. What have I done with my life? And that's par for the course for everything this developer's ever made, really. Which is weird, because they keep making the same kind of game. You'd think they would get better over time, but it doesn't. The only noticeable improvement was from Gothic 1 to 2, and arguably to Risen. Which Gothic 2 is actually pretty good. However, out of all the games that they've made, I wouldn't rate anything higher than like a 6. Thing is, there's still not a lot of games like them, so if 6 is the crowning jewel, it's what you have to take if you want to play that kind of game. Thing is, The Witcher 3 exists now, and Kingdoms of Amalur a little bit before that. Which is like an 8 and a 10, so like, both of those are much higher than a 6. Play those. Elex is definitely in the higher end. I'd put it like on par with Risen, I guess. And Gothic 2 is a little higher than Risen. So I guess that would make it a 5 out of 10. Not in IGN rankings. 5 is like absolute mediocrity. And yeah, I don't know why I started playing the game, and I don't know why I finished it, but I did, and all I can say is eh. Anyways, guys, that's about all I have time for today. I'm actually on the verge of finishing another 3 games, if you can believe that, so maybe I'll have at least 2 of them to talk about by the next time I stream. And, yeah, that's all. Take care.